local sports update. The NFL awards will be announced Thursday before the Super Bowl, with some Jaguars up for some big-time awards. Quarterback Trevor Lawrence is a finalist for NFL MVP and Comeback Player of the Year, while head coach Liam Cohen is a finalist for AP Coach of the Year. Also, congratulations to linebacker Devin Lloyd for being named to the 2026 Pro Bowl games. It's 63 degrees at 6 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Not really. As a matter of fact, not even close. Hell yeah. The 1-year anniversary, and look at Duval, a 70-plus degree day. It's only fitting that on the 1-year anniversary of the firing of Trent Baalke, that we just got a God-gifted morning, afternoon, and into the night right here in Jacksonville. Listen, I don't want to see anyone lose their job. I really don't. It's tough, whether you're in my business, the coaching business. You got to pack up your family and go elsewhere if you lose it. I remember when Jason Lock-Conforah lost his gig a few years ago, and, we had that infamous situation on air where I called him a liar. And he hung up after saying that, things were leaking from the Tom Coughlin camp. By the way, notice nothing leaks from the Miller Electric Center with this new brass. Nothing leaks. The only one who answered the phone call from Trent Baalke was not other general managers. It was Ian Rappaport. It was Adam Schefter. It was Jay Glazer. Heck, he may even have had Diana Rossini on his speed dial. But nothing leaks nowadays. My point is with the Lock-Conforah, I don't want to see him lose his gig. A lot of people reach me. I don't want anyone to lose their gig. Baalke lost it. He deserved to lose it. I was actually right for 16 days saying that they would not fire him, and then they did. I don't feel as bad for Trent Baalke because he's made millions. He's made millions and millions and millions and millions, and he should be able to live the rest of his life off of that. But I think it's a great message, even 1 year later, for all of us to understand. Regardless of your position of power, it's never going to hurt you to be nice to others. It's never going to hurt you to be respectful to others. Trent Baalke was cantankerous, all right? He was just a miserable dude who hated the media. And this is not a tough media. This is not one filled with contrarians, all right? It's very simple just to acknowledge, smile, answer the question, whether you want it to be canned, whether you want it to be filled with coach/GM speech, fine. Do whatever it is. But it never hurts to be nice to other people. And that's where Trent Baalke drew the line. He showed up here incredibly militant, and we were nothing more than a distraction. We were nothing more than an inconvenience. And he just came across being so gruff. This is a one-horse town. Jacksonville needs just a little massage, right? Just a tiny little bit of needling, just a little bit of oomph into your, your comments publicly. Doesn't matter if you talk to us. I still talked about Trent Baalke all the time. He never spoke to us. His message is simple. It's to get to you. That's why we're here. We're the conduit from his comments to your ears. That's the only reason why. And he failed miserably. He actually did a few good things with some draft picks. Unfortunately, he way overpaid with second contracts, which is handicapping the current organization right now. They're going to have to find a way to create some cash. I think they're going to say goodbye to a veteran, maybe two. I don't know if they're going to be able to re-sign their premier free agents. You're also looking at a deal where they're probably going to restructure some contracts. But, you know, Shaq Harris never spoke, but that was way back when. That was like pre-social media. That was pre having your phone. Really the same deal with Gene Smith. You know, it felt like those two were in a bunker. Dave Caldwell was very transparent. Okay, and I like Dave Caldwell an awful lot personally. I really do. And it was just a nightmare with Trent Baalke. And just think about how you were a year ago today. Again, for 16 days. I mean, you walked around like you lost your dog. I mean, there was nothing that you could look at and say, okay, it's going to be all right. Everything is going to come to fruition. No, it was just awful, man. There was a massive cloud. It was smog that was just hovering over Jacksonville, and it was terrible. And then it came out today that Liam Cohen said, thanks, but no thanks. I'm going to stay on as the highest paid offensive coordinator with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then, of course, later that day, that was it. Trent Baalke was fired. The very next day, Liam Cohen was hired. So just remember, Liam Cohen was hired tomorrow on the 23rd day of January. Okay. At that time, you had no general manager. You did not have Tony Boselli officially in place. Now, it did come out that Boselli was absolutely involved in the hiring process of the next coach. And to this day, many believe he was the number one factor in getting Liam Cohen to come from Tampa to Jacksonville to coach this organization. But they built the thing completely backwards, all right? And it worked. I don't know if it's the new way of the NFL. I'm just looking at all these jobs. We have one close again today in Baltimore. Jesse Minter's going over, the defensive coordinator from the Los Angeles Chargers. So with my math, that means 10 vacancies, 5 have been filled. That leaves Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Cleveland, and Las Vegas in the AFC. Arizona in the NFC, reportedly last night, Anthony Campanile was to fly to Arizona and meet with the Cardinals today. We'll talk about coaches here coming up in just a little bit, but they built it in a very weird way, right? They would announce Cohen tomorrow on the 23rd, and then on February 3rd, it would be announced that Tony Boselli was becoming the executive vice president of football operations. An absolutely incredible move. And what's great about you fans is that you got it, right? And typically, when it comes to Jaguars football, you've been told to do everything, including the P word. I'm never, ever, ever going to mention the P word. If I mention the P word on this show, Aaron Williams, either zap me like a Pavlov dog or find me in the kangaroo court. I will not mention the P word. Do you know what the P word is?
I do not.
Patience.
Oh.
Jaguar fans, you need to be patient. Nick Foles here, ladies and gentlemen. You guys need to go through the trials and tribulations. Nick Foles, as smart as he was, how stupid of him not to do the simplest of research. Just hop on the Google. You can have fun on the Google. Just look at the Jaguars franchise. Just look at the fact that they're the losingest franchise in team sports over the last 10 years in anything that includes football, baseball, hockey, and basketball. But Nick Foles, the way his mind worked, the only time he knew anything about Jacksonville was studying their film. Miles Jack wasn't down, 3rd and 18, Brady to Danny Amendola, Nate Hackett, Doug Marrone trying to sit on a fourth quarter lead. Let's run it, let's throw a pass. We'll pick up 3 yards, even though it's 3rd and 9. It'll be an incomplete pass. Our average drive will be less than 1 minute. It was awful, right? All Nick Foles had to do, a tiny bit of research, and he never would have told you to be patient. He never would have told you about going through trials and tribulations. Are you kidding me? Jaguar fans have been through it all. I mean, they've aged. And at that point, what were they, 25 years into the football franchise's history? I want to say that was right around the case. A year after, of course, they gave Blake Bortles big-time money. But just, consider that. And then it took another 18 days until the 21st of February when James Gladstone was introduced. And it's been nothing short of an A+ ever since. This thing has been formed. It's a well-oiled machine. I'm going to stay with what I've said all year long, and I'm going to ram it down your eardrums the entire offseason, okay? This is going to be a better football team this year than it was last year. And it may not be reflective with the overall win-loss record, okay? Because with the first place schedule and whatever, it may not reflect that. But this is going to be a better team coming up in the football season of 2020. All right, we got a lot to do, man. I am absolutely fired up. What a great day, man. It was like 70-something out there. This is why you live in Jacksonville. For those of you who played golf today, I'm jealous. For those of you who just had an opportunity to get out today, how about the blue-collar workers of Jacksonville? We like ourselves here. Again, I was offered a ton of money. I don't know if you guys heard this. This is a true story here. I turned away money. They wanted to name this show Into the Evening, and I was offered big cash to change the title. I said, hell no. It's a blue-collar show. We're meat, we're potatoes, we're morning, we're afternoon, and we're night, right? We're breakfast, and we're supper. No one calls it dinner around here. All you listeners call it supper. Is there a good supper club here in Jacksonville? I'm unaware of that. If so, let us know. All right, but we got plenty to do tonight. The Philly Godfather is going to join us coming up here in about 20 minutes. Road teams have had a tremendous amount of success so far in this year's playoffs, where every game has been outdoors. How about what I just said during crosstalk a moment ago? Only 3 points separate the two games this year between the Rams and the Seahawks. I mean, that is nuts. LA won at home, 21-19, back on November 16th. And then last month in a thriller, if you watched it, Seattle won in overtime, 38-37 over the Los Angeles Rams, who have won 4 out of the last 6 in Seattle with the 12th man. Denver, Jarrett Stidham is out. Looks like J.K. Dobbins could be back. Waiting for a big announcement there. I have to believe that if it does not come down tonight, of course, Denver's a few hours behind us as far as time. We'll hear about it tomorrow at the latest. I would have to believe, getting out of that 21-day window. So giving Denver, a much more formidable rushing attack against the New England Patriots. Both these QBs get after the quarterback. Hey, I'm going to talk about this when I get back. Okay. I saw a tweet today, and this is what it said. The 4 teams that are still in the playoffs, 1, 2, 3, and 4, Denver, Seattle, LA, and New England. You know what they have in common? They are the top 4 teams with the most interior pass rush in the NFL. Okay? Not talking about edge work. I'm talking about the interior pass rush, which when we went over team needs, and we'll obviously go over them again, as we get closer to free agency, which is about 6 weeks away. For me, it's not even close. The number one issue on this football team is they have to get better with their interior pass rush. Pro Football Focus has acknowledged it. No matter where you get your data, it's really bad. They did a nice job against the run. Obviously, they were number one in the NFL against the run. And that was consistent almost the whole way through. Pass rush from the interior, oh boy, that's a problem. And the four teams who do it the best are still playing football. Just something to consider. We'll talk about that coming up as well. All right, I'm going to meet with the Shmunez family next week. I'm always excited about that. It's such a great conversation. You know, we talk about family. We talk about golf. We talk about certainly their practice. They ask me a lot of questions about the Jaguars, and it's always a great meet and greet. And then we get down to some serious stuff, and it usually sounds like this. Hey, Rick, thanks. You're sending us a ton of people. Shmunez Vision is working. I get emails. I get contacted all the time via social media. They are thrilled at Shmunez Vision. But there's still some of you that are like, yeah, I'm going to do it, but I just don't have time. Stop. Make yourself an appointment today. You can't allow this to go on any further. Your eyes are incredibly important. Again, it's pitch dark right now. Your eyes aren't nearly as strong as they were when you got up this morning. Make yourself an appointment. Get an examination. You're going to get it from Dr. Neil Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, Dr. John Hunt. And then if surgery is needed, whether you want it with laser eye surgery or if they do find something that is problematic, you're talking about more than 37 years worth of experience. Go to Shmunez Vision online. You can also go to Instagram and grab the latest testimonials at Shmunez Vision. Fired up to be with you. We are celebrating 1 year later after the firing of Trent Baalke right here on your home of the Jags.
We're connected by a common bond.
We're all lemons. We look like everybody else, but what makes us different is our defect.
We're obsessed with sports.
You're absolutely right.
1010XL.
It don't get no better than this.
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside, your locally owned commercial truck headquarters and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, it's Rick Ballou. We got a fresh shipment of hard-to-find ProMaster vans, perfect for Section 179. My buddy Tommy and his team are committed to the community and make the process simple. Upfits, delivery, everything handled right. If you need ProMaster vans or commercial trucks for your fleet, you need Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside.
Spend an evening with James Taylor and his all-star band. The music icon is back on tour. September 22nd and 23rd, St. Augustine Amphitheater. The multiple Grammy Award-winning James Taylor and a night full of his biggest hits. Tickets on sale now at AXS.com. Spend the night with a friend. James Taylor.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here, and the cooler weather is upon us. Folks, it's the perfect time to try the new breakfast sandwich from Dandy Foods. A hearty one, too. A twin-pack cinnamon swirl and country sausage. You get the sweet first, then the salty kicks in, and trust me, they are addicting. And you'll find them all at daily stores around town. So the next time you're out and about, stop and get all that deliciousness in less than a minute from Dandy. Just one more reason to go out and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
Ballou here for Shmunez Vision. Why Shmunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Shmunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Shmunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Shmunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit ShmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
It's the Happy Renewal Year sale at Renewal by Andersen. Buy one, get one, 40% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, zero down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. But this offer expires January 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
It's It's a new year, and Aleve is here to help you keep your New Year's resolutions on track. Whether it's a daily walk, hitting the gym, or spending more time with friends and family, Aleve's got your back. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, Aleve keeps you moving with long-lasting body pain relief so you can chase those dreams and achieve your goals. Don't let body pain slow you down. Keep going with Aleve, because this year is your year. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $4,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Big party going on tonight, no matter where you go. Make sure you raise your glass. It's a great time to be in Jacksonville. Just amazing how things have changed in a year. Yeah, there's still a little bit of disappointment about perhaps letting one get away a couple of weeks ago against Buffalo, but still, just compare this to last year. And this organization was absolutely clueless a year ago. And they made moves that we all just said, wait a minute, what the heck's going on? You're going to hire a first-time head coach, a first-time general manager, a first-time executive vice president who turns around and hires in Liam Cohen a first-time offensive coordinator and a first-time defensive coordinator. The 5 most important positions in the Jaguars organization that are not on the football field were all first-timers. And look at it a year later. Shad Khan is being saluted for this. Tony Baselli is being praised. Liam Cohen and James Gladstone have totally brought a totally different atmosphere to everything in this city. And Grant Udinski and Anthony Campanile in 1 year are being pursued by other NFL teams. There's actually a dramatic change that has happened out of Cleveland. Grant Udinski, who went from minus 150 to minus 225 Tuesday and Wednesday, respectively. It actually came down last night while I was on air. He is now plus 200. The leader in the clubhouse, according to the odds makers, to be the next head coach of the Cleveland Browns is Jim Schwartz at plus 140, the current defensive coordinator in Cleveland. Nathan Scheelhaus is plus 155. All right. Udinski is supposed to interview tomorrow in Cleveland. He is supposed to interview Sunday in Buffalo. Right now, he's 6th there at plus 900. The leader's Brian Daboll, followed up by Joe Brady. There are others as well. You know, this whole thing today with Jesse Minter, he pulled himself out of the Cleveland job, and he has now been announced as the new head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. So they're trying new guys. They are. I mean, Harbaugh, okay. Stefanski, okay. Looks like Daboll may get another opportunity. Who knows what's going to end up happening here with Sean McDermott? Is he going to get a gig, or is he going to have to wait at least one season? You know, it feels like Pittsburgh will go Shula. Buffalo, my guess would be Daboll. Arizona's wide open at this particular point. Cleveland, we'll see what ends up happening there. And Las Vegas, actually Shula to Las Vegas, probably. It may end up being Mike McCarthy, who was out this year, the former Green Bay and Dallas coach. He could end up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he could. But I mean, to me, it seems like the Steelers are just waiting for the Rams season to be over for them to announce that they're getting Shula. But I don't know. It could be McCarthy.
We've gone back and forth with the listeners. You know, I kind of made a big deal about how, in my opinion, Buffalo's the best job because you have the best player in quarterback Josh Allen. Depends on how you look at it. Isn't Pittsburgh the best job? They've had three coaches in 60 years. I mean, think about that. With Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin, you've had three coaches in 60 years. Every day we talk about the turnaround. I mean, again, the 10 coaches that were fired in 2022, the 10 coaches that were fired this year, the last couple of years, 8 and 7, respectively. It's been just absolutely nuts to see how quickly these coaches end up getting fired. Liam Cohen, congratulations. He's one of the finalists for Coach of the Year, according to the Associated Press, or in their voting. Trevor Lawrence, acknowledged twice. He is a finalist with the Associated Press when it comes to the MVP and when it comes to, as well, comeback player of the year. I don't know if either of the two will get it, but just to be recognized here certainly is huge overall. I don't think anyone would argue with that point when it does come to looking at what the Jaguars have been able to do. So last year to this year, totally opposite. This year, myself included, you start to say, well, Grant Udinski, you just turned 30. Well, Grant Udinski, don't go to Cleveland. You're not going to succeed in Cleveland. Wait for a better job. That's exactly what they were saying last year at this time about Liam Cohen. Got a couple of really good friends in the Tampa media, including J.P. Peterson, who did TV when I did radio, going way back to the early 90s. He's a Florida State grad as well. And I remember doing his show around this time last year, and he goes, and he started screaming at me. He's like, damn it, Blue, you cannot take Liam Cohen. And I'm like, I have nothing to do with the hiring process, JB. And you know, let's be honest, at the time it was like Liam Cohen, and we were aware of all of his numbers, but he was never stable. He was always on the move. He was going Kentucky, LA, Tampa, and he's always on the move. But isn't that kind of the way it works for a lot of these coaches until they hit the pinnacle, and that is becoming a head coach? So just think about what those folks in Tampa were saying last year at this time. Don't leave. Don't take the job. It's a bad organization. Trevor Lawrence has been disappointing. That was the constant a year ago. Well, people are saying the same thing right now to Grant Udinski. Don't go to Cleveland. It's a terrible franchise. They can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Why would you do that? Well, I'll tell you why you would do it. There's only 32 of these jobs. And can any one of these coaches realistically take a job and not have the ego to believe that they should be able to fix it? Never forget the SEC. And this may have been combined over 2 years. James Franklin got the job at Vandy. Dan Mullen got the job at Mississippi State. I think at the time that may have been, maybe Muschamp or McElwain, but all these coaches, we can win now. We can win now. It's a great place. We can recruit it. We can coach it. We can win. We can win. We can win. And then enter Butch Jones of Tennessee, who started making excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. The cupboard is bare. This is a problem. That's right. He was trying to buy himself time. There's not a fan alive, even if it's true, who wants to hear that. You want to be told that you're going full steam ahead and that you're winning games and that the ultimate goal is to win a championship. Those other coaches, let's credit them. They did that. Okay? Not Butch Jones. And Butch Jones had a totally undisciplined team. Butch Jones was erratic as could be during his career at Tennessee. Grant Udinski's not going to go in there and say, well, you guys have made all the... No. He's going to go in there and say, give me the keys. I'm 30 years of age. I'm ready. And I could be the guy to turn this thing around. We'll see. But I got to believe that's his overall attitude. And, he commands the room. He does. He's got a lot to learn because he's young, But anyway, it's a very fascinating set of circumstances. All right, Philly Godfather coming up here in a minute. Let me tell you about Alexander Law Practice. For those of you who have been personally injured, let's get it right out of the way. There's never a retainer fee. You're never going to pay out of pocket when you contact Alexander Law Practice. So don't use that as a reason as to why you would not contact them. Again, no retainer fee. You're never out of pocket. Things will be settled at the end of the case. Rick Alexander's old school. First, when you call 400-6600, you get an automatic callback. Then you explain your situation. They'll put together a personable, very creative case for you. Maybe your car is totaled. Maybe if you are physically injured. It could be several other things that I'm not even aware of. Take advantage of this and take advantage of the fact that Rick Alexander has a very small client list. That is why he made this change years ago. He wanted to do it this way, and it works. It works wonderfully. So go to Alexander Law Practice online, and you can also place a free call with a free consultation at 400-6600. Let's look at Championship Sunday. Both games coming up with the Philly Godfather.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. How'd you get your money so quick?
Hard Rock Bet's got lightning fast withdrawals.
Almost as fast as Dale Jr. valeting cars at this party.
Man, he's fast.
Hard Rock Bet's fast withdrawals have given me new motivation. Tips are appreciated.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets. Not a cash offer. Offered by Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Here's hoping for a Raise the Roof football season. And here's knowing Next Gen Roofing is up for any job. Game day or storm season, you need a team you can trust. And you know what? You don't need a glitzy roofing company. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, no nonsense. Solid roofs at competitive prices and a commitment to the First Coast community. Right now, save up to $300 on your next roof replacement. When you need a roof, you need Next Gen Roofing. Team with you, it's a win every time.
For your chance to win tickets to Chris Stapleton and special guest Alan Stone, June 11th at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena, text Chris to the text line built by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010.
Hey, Hicken here. Leave all the 2025 dirt and celebrate the new year with our friends from Zero Res. Carpets, tile, hardwood, LVP, area rugs, upholstery. Basically every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. Time to call the cleaning pros at Zero Res, and don't forget about your air ducts. Zero Res has a 4.9 rating on Google with more than 8,000 reviews. Bring in the new year with 20% off carpet and upholstery cleaning, plus take $100 off your air duct cleaning when you mention 1010XL. 287-5727 or book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com.
The Jacksonville Icemen are back in town this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday and Saturday, it's Lizard Kings weekend. Go back in time to the mid to late 90s and pay tribute to our hockey roots. The Icemen will transform into the Lizard Kings with specialty jerseys and themed music. Friday, the first 2,000 fans get a Tom Coughlin bobblehead. Tickets at Ticketmaster, JacksonvilleIcemen.com or call 904-602-POD. Iceman hockey is #Sub-Zero.
New year, new club. This is Joe C., and I'm proud to be a member of Southampton. And with the popularity of golf, getting a tee time is tough. But with membership comes member privileges. Enjoy clubhouse dining, expanded practice area, focusing on all parts of your game. And right now, you can join with an annual commitment and get a $1,000 discount, plus $500 of Pro Shop credit. All the details are online at golfsouthampton.com or call 287-PLAY and make a tee time today at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Coach Campo here, and I just want to tell you about the best pizza I've had right here in Duval, and that's Tony D's Pizza. Tony works hard to make every slice perfect. If you love pizza like I do, you need to go to Tony D's, Bay Meadows and 295.
Give a unique gift this Valentine's Day to that special person in your life with a custom-made candle or body care product from Wick, a candle bar. Locations in San Marco and Jax Beach.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
All right, Championship Sunday upon us. Should be outstanding. The line is basically, less than one full possession, right around a field goal, maybe a nudge above in Denver, maybe a nudge below in Seattle. Let's bring in professional handicapper and best-selling author. He is the Philly Godfather. Welcome.
Thanks for having me on, Rick. Man, this has to be the fastest NFL season that went by in my life.
I know.
I don't know where all the time went.
Well, Bob Kraft yesterday in Boston said an 18-game schedule is coming, so you're going to have 2 byes. That's going to extend it an extra 2 weeks with a holiday being on President's Day after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, we can't get enough of the NFL, so why not?
All right, tell our listeners how they can get your best-selling book.
Yeah, you can go to phillybooks.com. I'll send you out an autographed copy. It may take 3 to 7 business days. Or you can go to Amazon. It won't be signed, but it's shipped to order, and it'll be out the next day.
All right. Anything new on the movie? Anything you can share with us right now?
We're in negotiations with a group out in L.A., but I can't really reveal anything yet.
Yeah.
You sign all this paperwork, so we're not supposed to say anything. But we're moving forward on it. I've been doing a lot of TV lately. They said I had a face for radio, but now they got me on TV. So, we'll see where this goes.
All right. Sounds good. Let's get right after it. Game 1, obviously, Jarrett Stidham is out. That is huge there in Denver, where New England has never won in the playoffs. But it looks like they could get J.K. Dobbins back. What do you make of New England going to Denver?
Yeah, before I break down the New England and Denver game, Rick, what was your take on that interception at the end of the Bills-Broncos game? Because there was a similar catch in the Rams-Bears game, and they ruled it completely different. What was your take on that?
My take is they got both calls right. How about you?
I'm there with you. I just, they've changed the rules of what a catch is over the years so many times where, and, when you use that super slow motion, that's not real.
Mm-hmm.
So, did he have full control? Did he have 90% control? I can't call it
right. I thought Davante Adams clearly had his knee down for Los Angeles. It's a very debatable call there, with Cooks. But I, in my opinion, he didn't have complete possession. But, hey, you just hope these games don't come down to a call like that. But that's something you have to consider. Am I wrong when you handicap these games, whether or not a team is going to get a very important call?
Yeah, turnovers are always big. I preach about it all season long. And now with a backup quarterback, I mean, this is a very dangerous situation for the Broncos.
Mm-hmm. How do you see it?
All right, let's get to business. This game opened up. The Patriots were 4.5 point favorites. It quickly shot up to -5.5 for a couple of days before some sharp money actually hit the screen on the Denver Broncos, and they forced the odds makers to bring the line back down to -4.5 where it currently sits. So it opened up at 40.5. That was actually hit pretty hard. It climbed a full 2 points. It's up to 42.5. So there's some sharp money on the over, which surprised me a little bit. I haven't bet the side yet, but I'm leaning with the sharp money here on Denver +5. Broncos defense has been their bread and butter all season, and I don't believe the 7-point swing in the betting market is justified here. I mean, I like Bo Nix, and he's played very well this season, but only 4 starting quarterbacks have thrown more interceptions this year, which is why the Broncos went just 8-9-1 against the spread, despite finishing with the best record in the AFC. So I think there was an over-adjustment in the market there. 7 points, I think, is too much. But again, back in the Broncos team led by Jarrett Stidham at +5 in the AFC Championship. Not an easy pill to swallow, but the sharp money, they're really not betting on the backup quarterback. They're betting on this Denver's defense, which has an absurd sack and pressure rate. I mean, we all saw what the Texans did and how they gave Drake May fits. And in my opinion, this Broncos defense is even better. New England won't be at home this weekend, so the noise level in Denver is going to be insane. That Mile High Field Stadium advantage combined with the defense, I think that's enough to keep Denver within the Vegas number here. And as long as Stidham doesn't turn the ball over 5 times like C.J. Stroud, you probably cash a ticket here. Sometimes the hardest bets to make are the easiest ones to catch.
Yeah. Ton of turnovers last week, no doubt about it, in those 4 games. Same thing you can really make the case for coming up on Sunday. I'm glad you mentioned the defensive line because Denver was number 1 with their interior pass rush. Houston's so good on defense, but most of that came off the edge, and that could really create a massive problem for the Jags offensive line and Drake May. All right, how do our listeners get a hold of you there, Philly Godfather, to get all of your picks? And because, hey, listen, we've got the NBA, we got college basketball, we got the NHL, we got everything else that's happening in the world of sports.
Yeah, I give out a ton of free stuff each and every day on X or Twitter at Philly Godfather, or you can stop by the PhillyGodfather.com and grab a sports betting membership.
They'll meet for the 3rd time, twice now in Seattle, the NFC Championship game. Rams at Seahawks. Your thoughts?
Yeah, these two teams know each other like the back of their hand, and the line on this game hasn't moved an inch since it opened. The Seahawks installed as a 2.5-point home favorite, and still at minus 2.5 to total. However, has seen a small 1-point downtick in the since the opening of 47.5. It's down to 46.5. And I think it keeps dropping. Early bet splits from both the U.S. and offshore markets are basically 50-50, so there's really nothing there. I guess when handicapping this matchup, these two teams almost identical across many of the offensive metrics on the season, from yards per play to yards per pass attempt. However, the Rams are slightly the better running team on offense while playing the tougher strength of schedule on defense. They're also averaging just 1 more point per game on offense. So these teams can put up a lot of points. On the defensive side is where the Seahawks have a distinct advantage. They're allowing 4 fewer points per game on the season. And actually, over recent play, they're letting up 14 fewer points per game over the last 3 games. So their defense is coming on strong at the right time. The nucleus of this Seattle team is probably the best in the NFL. And last week's 41-6 triumph of the 49ers was really impressive. But Sean McVay and Matt Stafford, they got a lot more playoff experience than their counterparts, and that matters. I think that's big here. Another issue that makes it hard for me to invest in the home team Seahawks here is their offensive line is really banged up heading into Sunday, and that might not bode well for Sam Darnold, who has had issues in the past when he doesn't have enough time in the pocket. And if you go back to that 49ers win, I mean, the 49ers turned the ball over 3 times. If you look at the box score, Seattle's offense, really not that great. Only 19 first downs and 281 total yards against the 49ers defense that was one of, if not the most injured units in the NFL this season. In this game, they're going to have to put up some points. Bottom line here is I like the Rams +3. If you have to buy the hook, I also like them in the teaser, in a 7-point teaser at +9.5, and you compare them with the Broncos at +12 this weekend. I think you cash that ticket as well.
All right, there you go. +3 on the road. Again, the 2 games earlier this year were decided by a total of 3 points. So it appears it's going to be a very close game. As we say goodbye to you, Philly Godfather, how can our listeners get your book?
Yeah, you go to phillybook.com, send you out an autographed copy, or you can go to Amazon and ship the order, be out the next day.
And get your picks on X.
Yeah, you can go to Twitter at Philly Godfather, and the website is thephillygodfather.com.
Best of luck, Philly Godfather.
Good luck, guys.
There he goes. Just like that. Playing dogs. Dogs. People don't like to play dogs, right? You want to play the favorite. Yeah, the public always plays the favorite. It's amazing. And, you heard him say some sharp money came in here on Denver. I keep reading about the difference in that game is going to be Sean Payton. And Mike Vrabel's right up there with Liam Cohen and obviously Ben Johnson, the 3 coaches who made just huge strides with those 3 teams in their very first year. I happen to think Mike Vrabel's a very good coach. I also happen to think Tennessee, it was a disaster by letting him go. They should have gotten him a quarterback, right? Who knows what he would have been able to do with Cam Ward, even though he had problems as a rookie. Most QBs do struggle as a rookie. But I keep reading that Sean Payton, with a full week, is going to put together a game plan that is going to knock off New England. The way that my brain works, I look at Drake May against Jared Stidham, and my mind is made up. I'm taking New England on the road. However, he has been a turnover machine, just like C.J. Stroud, just like Josh Allen, just like so many of these quarterbacks once we've gotten into the month of January. You look at New England in 2 playoff games, they've allowed 10 sacks. Drake May has thrown 2 picks. He's had 6 fumbles. He's lost 3 of them. And as I began the show talking about the interior pass rush, Denver's #1 in the NFL. Going to be a brutal environment as well. And these two teams, didn't face each other. They're learning about each other. Now, situation with the Rams and the Seahawks kind of feels like to me will come down to which team makes a mistake late. And you just hope it's not an official who makes that mistake. You don't want to see these games get decided because of that. I wrote this down early in the week. You look at playoff wins with the 4 teams remaining. Starting quarterbacks, Matt Stafford, 7-5, including a Super Bowl victory. Sam Darnold, 2-2. Drake May, 2-0. And Stidham, 0-0. I'm actually going to check that. I thought Sam Darnold was 2-1. Didn't he lose last year in Minnesota? But I didn't think he had been in the playoffs previously. Maybe he was. Certainly wasn't with the Jets. The Jets haven't made the playoffs in 14 years. So just something to take with you as you get ready to, make a play, perhaps, if that's where you're going. That's why we bring on the Philly Godfather. No one gives us more response from you on social media than the picks that are made here weekly by the Philly Godfather. Okay, let's I want to bring this up about what Robert Kraft said. And, I got to imagine that this is unanimous. Every single one of you wants an 18th game, 1 fewer preseason game, an additional 2 weeks of an NFL season, a second bye. But there's so many other things that need to be worked through. And I say that cautiously because there's a lot of you out there who didn't want to go to a 4-team college football playoff. There's a lot of you out there, and by the way, you were wrong, and you were wrong about a 12-team college football playoff. You want my proof? Miami's a 10 seed, and they made it. Last year, Ohio State and Notre Dame was an 8 seed against a 7 seed, and they played for it. So I don't even have to go on. I mean, the proof is right there that a 12-team college football playoff works, and we're going to get to a 16-team college football playoff. The bowl system's broken. The only people who care about the bowl system are those who are in cold weather places, who come here to the state of Florida where they can splash on some sun lotion, or, and all the love to you, degenerate gamblers. That's it. Those are the only people who care about today's bowls.
Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
The sprinklers have come on the football. Perfect. This is unbelievable. The automatic sprinkler system has come on the goal line. Absolutely perfect.
1010XL.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional, and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
The best wings in town are coming to River City Marketplace. Leon Searcy here. Wingstop is opening another North Jacksonville location soon at the end of December. You always get fresh, made-to-order wings in 11 flavors, including original, hot, garlic parm, and of course, lemon pepper. Wingstop now has 18 locations in Jacksonville, always open until 1 a.m. So skip the wait and order your wings online at wingstop.com and swing by to pick up at the brand new Wingstop location in River City Marketplace.
The Florida Forum welcomes former Russian political prisoner and Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Vladimir Kara-Murza at the Center of Performing Arts. Hear his powerful story of courage, imprisonment, and freedom, February 3rd. All proceeds for the Florida Forum benefit the Women's Board of Wolfson Children's Hospital, supporting a new outdoor play area for behavioral health services. Still to come, Chef Jose Andres on March 31st. Get your tickets now at thefloridaforum.com.
Frank Frangie here. When you're inside the Kuhn Flowers showroom, you'll find a wide array of gift ideas that will take care of any gift-giving situation. Spend a few minutes there and you'll see for yourself. That's Kuhn Flowers on Beach Boulevard.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops. Windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval.
What racehorse won the Belmont Stakes by 31 lengths? The answer next.
When your homeowner's insurance policy is up for renewal, it's a good idea to shop around to find a better plan. Southern Oak Insurance for over 20 years provides Floridians a clear option. SouthernOak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Secretariat won the Triple Crown in 73, including winning the Belmont by 31 lengths.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
Start the fresh new you with Local Fair Jacks, the online farmers market, delivering fresh local food to your door. Start for just $7 with code FRESH1010 at localfairjacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, I made a mistake, and that doesn't happen all that much. I'm kidding. It happens all the time. Sam Darnold is actually 1-1 as a playoff quarterback, not 2-2. I don't know how I got that wrong. I mean, I can see getting wrong 1,628 compared to 1,634, but for crying out loud, Baloo, how do you get 1 to 2 wrong? Ugh. They're coming to take me away. They're coming to take me away. Maybe my days are numbered. I don't know. Stafford 7-5, May 2-0, Darnold 1-1, Stidham goose eggs. Who do you like this weekend, Aaron Williams?
Sorry about that. I like New England.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how Denver gets past losing Bo Nix. I mean, I think that New England defense, they're ferocious. I think they'll cause a bit of turnovers. And that running game is solid. I mean, I like the running game. I like the running backs that they have. And in my gut, I feel like the Rams will pull it off. I feel like they've learned a lot from the second time they played Seattle. And like I was telling you before the break, the what proved it to me was when they beat Chicago last week. I mean, in the past, they lose that game.
Mm-hmm.
They lost last year in Philly. They lost to Detroit the year after. I mean, they lose that game. So I think they've come a long way. I think they take care of business on Sunday.
We'll see. I right now I'm thinking New England wins the first game. I'm thinking Seattle wins the second game. So I'm not exactly going out on a limb here. Congratulations, Blue. You're taking both favorites. That is the way I look at it. But again, I'm not a degenerate gambler, as far as you know. I just said the bowl system. We've talked time and again about how broken college football is and how there's no policing. There's, it needs to be governed. It needs a leader. It needs a commissioner. I mean, things are happening. And the biggest situation, in my opinion, is the loss of player identity, player growth, player development, the love that you have as a fan for the players, watching them go from a freshman all the way through their junior, senior season, whatever it may be. That's gone. It's all about the jersey now. Doesn't matter who you put in it, just win. And I hate that for fans. I do. I hate it for long-lasting fans. I hate it for new fans. It's a totally new wave of football. But I just saw the numbers. Monday night's game, over 31 million. It is the second highest watched or most watched game in the history of college football. So if you're an executive right now at ESPN or any one of these major networks, you probably don't care about the storylines and the overall feeling of the game of college football. All you care about is advertising dollars, revenue, and you're going to get it. You just landed the second highest rated game in its history. And that's going to work. And if you don't think that these networks have major pull, they do. The SEC could throw a wrench into this. And the SEC, all of a sudden is not the boss. They're behind the Big Ten. They're the underboss. All right? The Big Ten's won 3 straight titles. The Big Ten doesn't have to, bear down on, doesn't have to answer to anyone. They won 3 straight. I still can't believe Indiana won a national championship. I mean, those words coming out of my mouth, it just sounds so incredible. Yet we watched it happen on Monday night. All right, let's get ready for our 7 o'clock hour. I'm going to begin with what Robert Kraft said yesterday in Boston. I would have to imagine that every single listener is going to love what I'm going to say. But I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. All right. Let's throw it out there. I also want to get into what I believe should be some changes that the NFL's owners are going to have to agree upon here. All right. You've got to make it more pleasant for the National Football League Players Association and its players. We'll go over that. We got much more to do as well, a ton, including your questions, both on our text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures, and as well as on YouTube, 1010XL Into the Night.
You can find 1010XL on any social media platform, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, at 1010XL.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at KeyBuickGMC.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On January 22nd, 2006, Kobe Bryant scored 81 points for the Lakers in a win versus the Raptors, the second highest total ever.
Get a healthy start in 2026. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to help you get healthy and stay healthy all year long. Our dedicated team is committed to providing high-quality care and trusted public health services for our community. Our mission is simple: to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Learn more about our programs and services by visiting duval.floridahealth.gov.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Quality work is sometimes hard to come by these days, and if you want quality in a fence that'll last, make the call to Duval. Duval Fence, that is, a good Jacksonville company with good Jacksonville people committed to quality service. If you need a fence for your home, for a business, anything, just call Duval Fence at 260-4747. Give them an idea of what you're looking for, and they'll take care of the rest. Property fence, privacy fence, pool or pets. Make sure you call Duval Fence today.
This is Dave Barker with IHRS. Are you frustrated with those trendy pills and lotions that claim to make your hair thicker and fuller? Tired of your hair falling out? Our hair restoration solutions have helped over 10,000 men and women restore their hair in as little as 2 office visits.
Call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or go to hairforme.com.
San Jose Collision in Mandarin is proud to be an I-CAR Gold Class collision repair facility. That means they meet the industry's highest training standards. Experience the difference at San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. When you need a trailer hitch, gooseneck, or RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We've been doing it for 55 years, and customer service is our #1 priority. Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you become more active, reach your weight loss goals, and find your inner strength. Membership at the Y includes state-of-the-art facilities, a huge variety of fitness classes, and programs for all ages. It's easy to join the Y since it's affordable for all incomes. The Y is a great place to make connections and experience something new. Visit the YMCA near you or online at fcymca.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Mr. Know-It-All on YouTube is taking full credit for changing the show's direction, musically speaking. So let's give all credit to Mr. Know-It-All. Even though you and I had that conversation, I'm being labeled here as a one-trick pony. Give me some Deep Purple. Give me some Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Give me some Yes. And give me some Black Sabbath. But you're going to mix in some Biggie. You're going to mix in some Tupac. What did you just bring us right there? What was that?
That was oh my gosh.
Come on, Aaron Williams. Who was it?
Oh my, Coolio.
Coolio.
Sorry.
All right. Yesterday we talked about Fulio, the late Fulio, one of Jacksonville's hip hop artists. No doubt about it. Hey, let's get to this on the play. The expanded NFL, but this is really incredible from the 0981. And he starts with "Damn, Rick." I'm telling you, if you want to get my attention, begin it with "Damn." That's how Mr. Know-It-All got a hold of me yesterday about wondering aloud about my diversity when it came to music. And again, me and the GF last night, man, we were slow dancing to Seals and Crofts. We were slow dancing to some Jackson Browne, right? The Pretender. We were slow dancing to swaying to the music Who sings that? It's slow dance and sway into the. It's on the tip of my tongue, right there. It was a one-hit wonder. So yeah, we did that. But damn Rick is always important. Damn Rick. Would it be funny if Darnold makes the Super Bowl before any other quarterback of his draft class? And that draft class had Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, number 1, Josh Allen, and Josh Rosen. And he was labeled a bust. What do you got?
Was that Johnny Rivers?
It was Johnny Rivers, man. Play that. I mean, slow dancing, swaying to the music. That's love-making music right there. And you can't go wrong. Maybe you got a bottle of wine. Maybe you got a little something that you could smoke. I mean, heck yeah. That's great stuff. So, an 18-game schedule. Robert Kraft yesterday in Boston went on radio and said, it's going to happen. We've all have heard about this. It's been tabled. It's been discussed. The only wrench in it is health. Okay? Guys are getting beaten up. And you have an extra game. It's an extra opportunity for guys to get beaten up. Now, the NFL will spin it. The NFL is a master of taking something that is so blatantly obvious and finding a way to get fans who become sheep in this situation. Because you can say whatever you want, the fans want more and more and more and more, right? It's almost like free booze at a wedding or free booze at a party. Are you trying to tell NFL fans that you're going to expand the season by 2 weeks? That you're going to give us an 18th game and a second bye? Okay, during those 18 weeks, there will be 2 Sundays where you won't be able to watch your team play, right? But you're still, I guess it'll be 19. Right now, it's 18 weeks, 17 games. So it will be 19 weeks and 17 games. There'll be 2 weeks where you don't get to watch your team play, but you still get to watch other games. I mean, most of you play fantasy league football anyway, so you have your interests, or, you know, maybe that's the day that you slide over to Tallahassee or Gainesville, whatever it may be, for a college game. So just about everyone is going to support this. The biggest problem that they're going to have to deal with is explaining CTE, explaining concussions. You remember a couple of years ago, Roger Goodell, when they went from 16 to 17 games, actually stood up and told the media and told you as fans that by going from 16 to 17 games, the concussion rate actually dropped, that the game was safer. And then when he was called out for it, and I'm paraphrasing here, he went on to say that the enhanced technology with doctors, it's much easier nowadays to discover even the slightest concussion compared to what is a severe concussion. Again, they're going to spin it because all they're looking at is dollar signs. This is the ultimate greed. And you as NFL fans, you love it. I can't think of it. Maybe if there's any one of you out there that is against this, I'd love to know your reason for it. I would. 641-1010 text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can join us on YouTube, 1010XL into the night. So this is what I think off the surface. Robert Kraft did add that every team is going to play internationally, which I hate. Okay? It's a joke. The NFL should be played in the United States of America. It doesn't need to be played in London. It doesn't need to be played in Germany. It doesn't need to be played in these other countries. Okay? Buy a television set, wire the thing up, and let them watch it in those other countries. And don't talk to me about this being a global sport. No one wants to travel internationally. You're adding grind to your season with 2 extra weeks. People don't want to go, even though they fly on chartered flights. It's very comfortable. It's lengthy. And publicly and privately, you're going to get two totally different answers. Of course, no one's going to come out and rip the situation publicly. But privately, they don't want to go out there. None of these coaches want to do that. It's bad for business, except for the business of the 32 NFL owners. Nonetheless, you're going to get it. And I just hope Jacksonville's wise here. I hope they are. I hope they're not in a situation, I really hope Shad Khan has an iron fist here. And maybe this is where Tony Boselli comes in as the executive vice president of the Jacksonville Jaguars to remind Shad Khan that, hey, there's a home game every year in London. That should be it. Don't allow the NFL to say, well, since that is your home game, we're also going to put you on the road, and every year you're going to play at that other stadium in London, or you're going to go play a game in Germany, or you're going to go play a game in Mexico. I mean, again, address it before it comes up, and it's going to come up during the NFL's owners' meetings. I got to believe they're smart enough that they'll take a look at it. The other side of this, which is scary, is what if Shad Khan's like, hell, man, I'm global. I go everywhere. My yacht, my planes. Playing a game in Germany sounds attractive to me. That's scary. To me, it's scary. To you, it should be scary. You don't want to play those games, But anyway, an international game. All right, couple buys. They should do that. They needed to pay the players more money. Then it will expand the salary cap here. It's going to be announced in the next few weeks. They need to expand the roster, okay? Instead of it being 48 on game day, you got to have 50. This is not college football. You lose a player, you basically have one backup. I mean, think about it. 11 and 11 is 22. 22 and 22 is 44. 3 special teams guys is 45. You're talking about 3 others on your game day roster. You must expand the NFL roster. You must change the injured reserve rules. Now, they've gotten better since COVID, but you need more. With more games, more injuries. You need to allow more transactions that sound like if you're placed on the injured reserve, the numbers grow as far as injured reserve designed to return. That has to change. What else? I've given it, I've had some people actually mention how players should only be allowed to play 17 of the 18 games. A mandatory 1 game that every player must miss. I can't see that getting signed off upon. Imagine that decision. Yeah, it's week 3. Yeah, Detroit's coming into town. We're going to sit down Brian Thomas Jr. This week. Next week, we go to Denver. Yeah, we're going to sit down, we're going to sit down Trevor Lawrence at Denver. Again, it's been thrown around. I'd be surprised if they ever did something like that. But, you can really make the case that football's the only game where you play every game, right? Hockey, basketball, baseball. There's not a lot of Cal Ripkens. And I get it. Football is a much shorter season. You can't afford to rest guys when you're playing 16 games or 17 games. You can when you're playing 82 or 162. Okay. That's the way I look at this. And ask you straight up. I know I'm getting a ton of stuff in tonight, but I'll put you right to the front of the line. If you can either argue this and say you don't want it. Again, the consumer's going to love it. I can't imagine how you would not. But again, there's a lot of things going on right now that makes so much sense to me that others are like, no. So maybe this is the case as well. All right. Add your 2 cents in on that. And is there anything that with an 18-game schedule that I didn't mention that you think the NFL should do? 2 ways to join us. 641-1010 text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can also get on in on YouTube. That's 1010XL into the night.
4 balls. 3 strikes, 2 teams, 1 winner. 1010XL.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically, if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari, at Bari Orthopedics.
The Jacksonville Icemen are back in town this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday and Saturday, it's Lizard Kings weekend. Go back in time to the mid to late 90s and pay tribute to our hockey roots. The Icemen will transform into the Lizard Kings with specialty jerseys and themed music. Friday, the first 2,000 fans get a Tom Coughlin bobblehead. Tickets at Ticketmaster, JacksonvilleIcemen.com, or call 904-602-PUCK. Iceman hockey is #Sub-Zero.
He's Jacksonville's official tape checker.
I'm Jeff Lockman.
And he tells you about it Tuesdays during football season on Jaguars Today. Inspected by. Go to the pros Napa know-how. JacksNapaAutoCareGroup.com on 1010XL.
Flame Broiler, the Rice Bowl King, is turning up the flavor with new char wings. These wings are charbroiled, never fried, grilled to perfection for a big taste without the grease. Grab them as a 3-piece or 10-piece side, or make it a meal with a 6 or 8-piece combo, served with rice and a drink. Order pickup or delivery today from any of Flame Broiler's 5 Jacksonville locations, or call 904-619-2786. Flame Broiler, bold flavor done right.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to ITPPartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
A new year is the perfect time to finally get organized. Hey, this is Lauren Brooks, and I love our closets from Closets by Design. They create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live. From closets and garages to home offices, entertainment centers, laundry rooms, and more. Beautiful, functional storage for any space, lifestyle, and budget. Start the new year strong with 40% off plus an extra 15% off, free installation, and 18-month special financing. Schedule your free in-home consultation. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top-quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, here to share with you an actual client review.
Dude, these shirts are sick.
Check out the shirts and other sick promo items at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Good luck, gentlemen. She's the one. Go get her.
Just the music on the radio.
Ladies, just smile
No one's coming, no one's gone.
and let it happen.
Just me and you.
Ballou developing musical diversity, including Johnny Rivers. Turn that up a little bit. This is the chorus, for crying out loud. Ah, this is gorgeous.
Slow dancing, just me and my girl.
I can see you grabbing your gal and getting on the dance floor to this, Aaron.
When I married her, I did.
Yeah, you a married man?
I am.
Good. You happy?
Very happy.
Okay. Well, that's rare. Congratulations, man. I'm just kidding. All right, I just heard that Lizard King promo. And let me check my phone here. I haven't been contacted by anyone. Their reunion, I was the color analyst on the Jacksonville Lizard King radio broadcast team with Joe Zidlow. And with the Lizard Kings, and this is a true story. This is not radio embellishment. This is absolute 100% fact. And I got to find it. I think it's in a couple of boxes that I have, maybe in my garage somewhere. But I actually signed a contract with them. $50 a game and 2 beers. So I was like a living Harry Carey at the age of like 26, 27 years of age when I was on the ball. And the contract did say $50 a game and 2 beers. Man, pretty incredible. And I was such a punk then, man. I used to drink like a 40 on the way over. God, drinking and driving so bad. I'm so lucky I never did anything stupid. No one loves a cocktail more than I do, but I do not get behind the wheel. I once did. And, you know, I'm never going to shy away from any of my mistakes. And instead, I'll just come out and tell you and hope that you don't make that mistake now. Don't do it, people. Oh, my God. I was so stupid in those days. But again, I had nothing to lose. You know, nowadays I got way too much to lose. See, Rick Pitino's going for his 900th career win tonight, and it's against his son.
And that's something.
How do you line that up?
Yeah.
Career win number 900, and it could end up being against his son when it's all said and done. 9688 says, Blue, if they expand the schedule to 18 games, then they'll expand the rosters from 55 or 56 players. Because of the potential for extra injuries. Absolutely. Right now they go 53 to 48. You have the third quarterback rule. There's also rules where you can bring a guy up from the practice squad. You can enhance the roster a little bit. But they have to. You absolutely must. And you got to pay him more. You got to increase the salary cap. You have to increase the game day roster. 30-73, Blue, 11-18 game schedule. My only concern is when does it stop? And a couple years ago to 19-20, what's the end game? It's a great question. It really is. If you had said to me 10 years ago that they were going to a 17 game, I guess I may have believed it because people have been complaining about the preseason forever. You should only have 2 preseason games. Preseason games are useless outside of the fact that the owners get the full gate. The fans don't really like them. It'd be much more, it would make more sense and would be more valuable if you got to practice against another team. Those are really important. Those days practicing against another opponent are huge. And I would much rather have that. Watch them practice and do whatever it is that they're going to do as opposed to playing a preseason game. 2 years ago, Jacksonville was undefeated, right? And it's like they never took on a starting quarterback. You really can't learn anything. But, that is fair. Where are they going to stop? I don't know the answer to that question. 26-68. David Lamb made so many great points during his life, the late David Lamb. 2 things that I'll always give him credit for because I heard it from him first. Number 1, there should be a holiday after the Super Bowl. Uncle Dave said that. God, I miss Dave Lamb. He was so much fun. We never agreed on anything. Well, that's not true. But it was always such a... there's certain people that you can argue with, but there's respect, and you can make a point, and he can make a point, and you both believe in that point, but you get out of it what you wanted, and there's no backstabbing, there's no talking. There's others who get angry, and it causes a riff. I mean, the ego in this business is ridiculous. You'd be surprised. You really would. Actually, I think you're aware of it. You're a very intelligent audience. But with Lamb, I loved conversations like this. And these were on air every once in a while, but they would be, over a beer. He used to think that managing baseball was useless. And I'd be like, are you kidding me? Back in the days of the double switch and everything else, I think managing baseball is so incredibly difficult and important. But anyway, the two things that David Lamb always said was a holiday after the Super Bowl, and you want to get rid of concussions? Take off the helmets. Have them play football with no helmets. And I'm like, what? What are you saying, Dave? He's like, I made this claim a couple of days ago in hockey. I said the biggest mistake hockey ever made was by putting on the helmets. And one of those reasons is you lost player identity. You can't tell today's players from one another. They're very robotic. And again, so many of these finesse-style players are coming from Sweden and Finland and Russia and this and that and this and that. It's not the same deal. But David Lamb said, you'll prevent targeting. You'll prevent these defensive players from leading with their head. You were taught this when you play Pop Warner football. You should not have to teach how to tackle at the big-time collegiate level and certainly at the pro level. That is something that you should have learned from the time that you started playing football when you were 7, 8, 9 years of age. You do not lead with your head. Yet, how many times? And I know super slow-mo really expands that. But how many times do we see where even the greats of the game still lead with their head to make a tackle?
Not only that, but they like to, especially in today's game, like to lead with their shoulder, and then they wonder why their shoulder gets blown out in the game. Like they try
rather do that than
wrap
the head.
up.
Yeah,
wrap up.
But these athletes, and I don't know if a survey was done or it was just an opinion that I made, but I'll stay with it. 99% of these athletes, 99% of these football players, if I was to give you two options and you have to pick one, all right, a concussion, a massive concussion, which really sets you back, or a torn ACL, they're going to take the concussion every single day of the week, even though their brains could end up being scrambled post-career. A year of trying to get back off of a torn ACL, almost unanimously, they're all going to pick the concussion.
Yeah, and that's because they just want to get back into the game as fast as they can. That's why they don't want that torn ACL. But no, you're right. The long-term effects of it is detrimental. It's terrible.
Well, it's led to suicides. It's led to doing other things, homicides. It's led to just incredible problems. I hate it. Absolutely, I do. 26-68 Blue. I'm against it. 32 teams, 16 teams in each conference, 16 games. It makes mathematical sense. Tough to argue with that. Absolutely, it does. But we all know why. Money. 3139 Blue, you need to introduce your new producer to the one and only Boz Skaggs and the Dirty Lowdown. Yeah. Love Boz Skaggs. Georgia. Right? Love, look what you've done to me. It's over. What's the other one? The Lowdown and Gino. It's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, Boz Skaggs. Not Bob, it's Boz. There's only two Bozes that I know.
B-O-Z?
B-O-Z-Z, Boz Skaggs, and, of course, Brian Bosworth. Can you imagine the amount of money Brian Bosworth would make if he was playing today in college? Deion Sanders, if he was playing today in college. Herschel Walker. Tebow. I mean, just Doug Flutie, where I grew up. Oh, my God. The amount of money. Some of these guys got to look back and say, man, if I'd only been born later, the amount of money I would have ended up making. Let's take a break. Let's do this on time. Well, what do you believe? Yes. Let's get more on this game from our good buddy, Rafael Esparza. We'll get him in here for a couple of minutes. Some big fights coming up. We'll get his opinion on that. And then we'll get back to you as we roll tonight till 8 o'clock on this Thursday.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Game days aren't the only win happening in the 904. Best of Bold City named 904 Gutters with a Z, the #1 seamless gutter company in Duval. Like the team's O-line protects their QB. Call the winning team at 904 Gutters with a Z to protect your home from the rain.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my success with back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Jacksonville is the flip side of Florida. And inside the flip side, the action never stops. If you're tired of hearing about the best games after the final whistle, don't get left on the sidelines. Whether it's a unique sporting event you've never seen, a weekend with the family, or a winning date night, Visit Jacksonville is your ultimate playbook. Get in the game. Head to visitjacksonville.com/locals or download the Visit Jacks app today and see everything coming in 2026. Jacksonville. Experience the flip side.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
At Hollis Pools, building a pool is personal. We sit down with you, listen to your vision, and bring your backyard dreams to life right here in Northeast Florida. Working with us doesn't feel like working with a contractor. It feels like working with family. Every Hollis Pools project supports Project Savior Outdoors, helping bring hope to our veterans. Visit HollisPools.com. Hollis Pools, your vision, your pool, your escape. License number CPC 1461233.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group, 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
Start your new year off healthy and get screened at Ackerman Cancer Center with on-site imaging, including whole body MRI, PET and CT scans, and mammography. Early detection is key. Visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
My name is Joanne. I'm 75 years old, and I have lost 35 pounds on Awaken 180 weight loss. I was pre-diabetic. I was ready to go on cholesterol medication. My blood pressure was up even on medication. Now I have no need for cholesterol medication. My blood sugar is fine, and I actually am cutting down on my blood pressure medicine. I have knee replacements and hip replacements, and I had difficulty walking, and now I can walk without any problem. I feel lighter. I feel more energetic. It is a lifestyle that will help you to lose weight without medication.
Thanks, Joanne. Matt Hayes here. Stories like Joanne's are the reason I continue to share the Awaken 180 message. The results speak for themselves, and I'm confident you'll have the same success if you let them show you how. Do what Joanne did, what I did, and what over 24,000 others have done, and choose the solution for weight loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Congratulations to both Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence. They were acknowledged today by the Associated Press. A finalist for the Coach of the Year is Liam Cohen, and Trevor Lawrence up for 2 awards: the Most Valuable Player, he's one of 5, and the Comeback Player of the Year. So that in today for Jacksonville. All right, Grant Udinski expected to interview tomorrow in Cleveland, Sunday in Buffalo. The odds have actually changed for Grant Udinski, and they've been pretty significant. Again, he was at minus 150 early in the week, minus 225 yesterday. Presently, he's plus 200, although I haven't looked since I've been on air. But he is actually behind Jim Schwartz at plus 140 and Nathan Scheelhaus at plus 155. Also, last night, Anthony Campanile was, from what we understand, flying to Arizona to interview for that job. And haven't heard anything good or bad as far as what is going on there. Jesse Minter was announced today as the new head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. So 5 jobs are accounted for. There are still 5 vacancies, 4 in the AFC. You have Pittsburgh, you have Buffalo, you have Cleveland, and you have Las Vegas. Arizona is the only job that is still open in the NFC. Golf today. How about Scotty Scheffler? Plays for the first time with this year, the calendar year, a 9 under 63 today at the American Express in Southern California. So it was a great time of year for golf. I used to love it when it was the Mercedes Championships, and then you would, dive through the West with this event, and Los Angeles, San Diego, Pebble Beach, Phoenix coming up, which I believe is in 2 weeks. The Waste Management, and it just goes on and on and on. But all the heavy hitters out there today just destroying the golf course. I mean, Minwoo Lee with a 62. I'm not aware of this guy. Pierceson Coody, a 10 under 62. I'm going to have to learn about him. But certainly right here out of Jax, or lives now in Jax over the plantation, Billy Horschel, an 8 under 64. So a lot of the heavy hitters out there today playing some golf. That is some good stuff. 84-46 Blue, a step back from the rigged outcomes. It won't be play-by-play game till it'll be card shot. Yeah. Okay. 40-04. My dad was a team photographer for the Lizard Kings. So I was a middle schooler. I remember raiding the Hungry Howies in the media room. Oh, yeah. Hungry Howies was big. I absolutely grabbed a slice or two on the way up with my my 2 beers a game. Of course, I bought beers after, but the 2 beers that were in my contract. Again, I can't believe my boss allowed that at the time. Anyway, it's about the only good thing he ever did. 73-70. Great point, Rick, about David Lamb. I remember about 12 or 13 years ago, David said that there is no team in the NFL that is only 4 or 5 players away from being a contender. With parity and free agency and such, if any team could take 4 or 5 players of their choice and from other teams, they would go from 0 to hero. Yeah, I think we would all agree to that. And, you can make it, and you can go even farther, honestly. You can go to 4 or 5 plays a game. To a lesser extent, you can go to 2 or 3 mistakes a game. You could go to 1 or 2 bad calls by an official a game. remarkable, where we are nowadays. Someone on YouTube was calling me. I might have been Mr. Know-It-All again, calling me out for my opinion on college football and how I don't like it now because you don't watch players develop. And what I mean by developing is you bring in your recruiting class, you bring in your 25, you watch them. I remember the days when maybe 2 or 3 freshmen would play. You'd redshirt them all. Then you'd watch them grow, and you knew that they were going to be the guy who would replace your current starter. It was so great to watch them play as freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors. And again, I thought the game was better then. I thought the fans enjoyed it then. He goes, what are you talking about? Look at Indiana. Didn't they develop their players? I'm like, sure, absolutely. And I gave Kurt Cignetti enormous amounts of credit last week and this week. He had no 5 stars on his team. He had 6 4 stars on his team. But his best player was a transfer. The Heisman Trophy winner was a transfer from Cal. But I'm not really talking about Indiana. I'm talking about the schools around here. I'm talking about the SEC. Okay, even Miami, after a phenomenal season. If they had won the national title, I don't know if it would have felt the same by renting Carson Beck for a year that it would have when you watch Steve Walsh win it, when you watch Bernie Kosar win it, when you watched Vinny Testaverde lose it, when you watch Ken Dorsey win it, right? And I almost mentioned the quarterbacks here. I do. I think there's a difference here. If Florida State was allowed to play 2 years ago after going 19-0, Jordan Travis may have been the exception to the rule because he was a transfer. He played at Louisville before he went to Florida State. It would have been elation. It would have been outstanding. I would have loved it. But I don't think I would have felt the same that I did about the 93 and the 99 and the 13 national championship games where you watch them all start as freshmen and grow. To me, that's a big time difference. Just my way of looking at it. 5602. Baloo, is it me, or do we not have the same kind of superstar level college athletes you just mentioned, like Deion Sanders or Brian Bosworth, or like Christian Laettner, who, by the way, lives right down the street from me. Christian Laettner over in Bartram Springs, or Grant Hill, or the Fab Five. I feel like those guys wouldn't exist today in the world of college sports because you don't get a chance to know college players anymore. Thank you. When I cut my teeth in this business, I always talk about Bowden in football. Basketball. I remember Joe Smith was the top pick in the draft, Maryland. This is when Maryland was in the ACC. I want to say he stayed all 4 years at Maryland. Tim Duncan stayed all 4 years at Wake Forest. Christian Laettner, Grant Hill, Thomas Hill, that New Jersey gym rat, Bobby Hurley, they all rolled in for Duke year after year after year. And it was Stackhouse and Rasheed Wallace and Jerry Stackhouse there with Dean Smith and UNC. And then as soon as they left, it was like Vince Carter and Antoine Jameson. I remember Ray Allen and UConn coming in. I remember when I was a freshman there, it was Denny Crum, and it was year 2 of Never Nervous Purvis Ellison. I remember when they were in that Metro. What was his name? That the guy with the huge goggles, the guard, Perry, for at that point it was they were still a state. Elliot Perry. Google that for me, and please tell me what name, because they used to have a state at the end of it. Now they're just the name in itself. Elliot Perry is the name. Remember him coming in with the, but yeah, no doubt. And even Pat Kennedy's Florida State's team. Sura played his entire career. Sammy Cassell they got. Sammy Cassell they went out and they brought in. But Douglas Edwards and James Collins right here out of Jacksonville, and Charlie Ward. Was it Memphis? It was Memphis State's Elliot Perry.
He did play for Memphis. Yeah,
that was it. It's now Memphis. It was Memphis State in the Metro in the late '80s. It's a great point. Now, I was a kid then. Things are always different when you're a kid. Things are always different when you're starting out in something. But I can't even compare that, And I think the best example that I believe in, and again, I'm not a Gator, I'm a Knoll, but you guys won a title last year, and it was incredible, especially how tight those games are. I still can't believe Texas Tech blew that game against you guys. But it was great to get a title. But wasn't that title, honestly, about the front of the jersey? Wasn't it about the Gators? Where when you won with the 04s, and you watched all those guys get better year after year after year, win, and then turn around and win 2 years later with the same group of kids, I have to believe that it was a different feeling then than it is now. I may be totally wrong. You're a Gator. You have any, you agree to what I said there? Disagree? Are you old enough to remember the 04s and all of that stuff? Or is that a little
I
bit
remember them. It was, I was only, 12, I think, at that time. So,
right.
But yeah.
Right. No.
Don't disagree with it.
No. What's this? Someone sent me a video here on the Lizard Kings. All the way here from Austin, Texas. I'll have to play that during the break. See what's going on. I don't know. I didn't think we'd get that much Lizard King reaction. Some people don't believe me that I had the beers. I got to find that. I got to find that contract. That was awesome. That was, I think it was kind of like a radio bit, but Joe Ziegler had the little bell there whenever they would fight. He'd ring the bell. I remember the Hammer, Dave Schultz, climbing the back of the glass. I think he was the coach at Baton Rouge. And one of the Broad Street Bullies, he was going after some Jacksonville fans. And that place was such a dump too. I mean, the funniest thing about it is that we would broadcast the game and people would want to listen to the radio inside the old, Memorial Stadium or whatever they call the arena. You couldn't even pick up the radio broadcast inside the building. Okay? I mean, it's like, you've got to be kidding me. And that was that old place. But that was way back when. All right, let's wrap it with this. 88-89 Blue. No helmets, bigger odds, getting much worse neck and head injuries than just concussion issues. Just saying. My only argument with David was on this issue. I played a lot of tackle football, backyard football growing up. And there was always one or two guys who was clearly missing a screw. And they didn't care. They were going to run in with the contact without helmets on, just playing, in the snow, whatever it was. I believe the league would be filled with guys like that. You're trying to tell me you're going to take off my helmet? Well, watch this. And they would still go after it the way they always had. Because, again, they're just wired differently. And maybe they're missing some sense. And it doesn't matter to them because they're just absolute gladiators, out on the gridiron. And that is what I would argue with David Lamb. Again, I don't know. It was a good argument, 15 years ago. Today, it's just a waste of airtime. May make you think a little bit, but obviously they're never going to do that. It's just not going to happen. The other option would always be, go back to the leather helmets, remove the face mask, protect your dome, protect your ears, but leave your forehead and your eyes and your nose and your teeth open. And with that change, going after people face first. Unfortunately, we'll never know the answer to that question. By the way, rest in peace, the great David Lamb.
When you listen to radio play-by-play, you don't just hear the game, you feel it.
That feel good. That feel good.
Get the most play-by-play on 1010XL, Jacksonville's play-by-play sports radio.
What Baltimore Orioles player received a 22-minute standing ovation?
For over 20 years, Southern Oak Insurance has given Floridians a better alternative to their current homeowner's policy. See what you can get with Southern Oak. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Cal Ripken holds the record of playing 2,632 consecutive games. On his final game, the Oriole great received a 22-minute standing ovation.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
I'm with Fred from Cycles in Jacksonville. We always talk about Honda, Triumph, so many great bikes, but Aprilia from Italy is also a beautiful line.
It is absolutely gorgeous, and it is a fine sport bike. It's one that when you take your helmet off, you're never frowning. You're always smiling.
So if you want to treat yourself to something really special on the road, that's a line they should look into?
Absolutely, and we've got them in stock and ready to roll.
All right, make sure you check them out. They are on Atlantic near Regency. CyclesofJacksonville.com is a great place to go, or check out their Facebook page at Cycles of Jacksonville.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning, then deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Put the ball in the net with 60 minutes of soccer talk. The Coaches Show presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Baylor. Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Resto Pros.
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Resto Pros.
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestoProsNEFlorida.com. That's RestoProsNEFlorida.com.
Resto Pros.
Joe C. here. I tried playing handyman with my sprinklers and French drain. Ho, ho, ho. And royally failed. So I called Clearwater Irrigation and Drainage. And John Haney came out personally, just like he'll do for you.
You know it. And for a limited time, my good buddy Joe C's coming too.
Huh?
Ain't that right, Joe?
I gotta go to the game.
Go? Go.
Clearwater Irrigation.
At least do this part.
And drainage too.
ClearwaterJacks.com.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
It's talking about the early days in the ACC. I keep making a big point about, player loyalty to a school, how it was when we were growing up compared to the way it is now with the transfer portal. 3073 said he was a manager at UNC, sat next to Dean Smith for 4 years. I'll always be embedded to Bowden, Pat Kennedy, Mike Martin. Great to learn under those three. Is there a coach anywhere down the road that you can really point to and say, that was awesome?
Spurrier.
Yeah,
Spurrier for me, growing up with him. I was a little older when Billy Donovan started doing his thing, so I would definitely say Spurrier. But I, like you, am forever indebted to Pat Kennedy, as I am an alum of the Pat Kennedy basketball camp over there in Tallahassee, Florida. Yeah, I went over, I think it was in 5th grade, and I got to spend 2 days with Pat Kennedy and some of the Florida State assistant coaches at, Swisher Gym is where we did it. Yeah, It was good times.
Pat Kennedy makes an appearance here on Into the Night a couple of times a year every March.
Oh, good. Yeah, what's he doing now?
He was an athletic director and a basketball coach at a local high school. I don't know if he's doing it. He may have retired.
Well, I have no doubt he'll remember those 2 days with me 31 years ago, so tell him I said hello.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, what do you make? Another day, another coaching vacancy filled. This time it's a first-timer with Minter taking over the Baltimore team.
Yeah, I guess ironic that Harbaugh's brother's right-hand man is going to Baltimore, right? So, I mean, Minter worked with Jim Harbaugh at Michigan and went with him to the Chargers, and he's replacing Jim's brother, who Baltimore fired after 18 years. But you kind of knew Baltimore. They just seem like a defensive-minded coach team. Udinski interviews in person tomorrow in Cleveland, then apparently with Buffalo on Sunday. Campanile was out in Arizona today. In fact, I'm going to go out to Arizona coming up here tonight on Hacker After Dark. My guy when it comes to the Cardinals is Tyler Drake of Arizonasports.com, and we'll get the latest on Campanile and how much he is in play out there. But yeah, look, I mean, the coaching carousel is halfway home. 5 guys have been hired, 5 jobs remain open.
Yeah, 5 left. We'll see. And the odds have absolutely changed here now for Grant Udinski in Cleveland. But who knows? They could change again. All right, buddy. Have a good show.
Yeah, appreciate it, Rick.
That's going to do it. That's it for us right here on this Thursday night. Get you ready for Hacker Nation. We're back at it in 22 hours. Fired up for Friday's show. More on Championship Sunday, both games. And as always, something else will come right and drop in our lap. It will. It will. There'll be plenty to get into during Friday's program. Thank you to the Philly Godfather. Thank you to our producer, Aaron Williams. Thank you to all your contributions tonight, both on YouTube as well as our text line. That'll do it. I'm Rick Bully. We'll talk tomorrow at 6 right here on your home of the Jags.